So I got her all primed and puttied to the best of my ability. It is not perfect. It's got some burbles and bumps in here and there. But if you look at this and compare it to the other videos in the beginning, like that nose is much smoother, the nacelles are much better. And I am very much impressed again with this kit because all of the, most of the panel lines are actually, I got to re-put them in, of course, but a lot of the pieces that were put on with the paper, those actually were panel lines, at least based on the little 3 views that I have. So this model continues to impress me. I think I might have said that before in the previous video, but in any event, next thing I do is put in panel lines. So I find me a book on the Me-410, Me-210. It's got some pullouts in it, centerfolds of another type, but it's got nice ink drawings and some photographs and some color kinds of things. Um, but what I can do is use these 3 views with their sort of panel line detail and try to replicate it as much as possible. See, good, nice colors. Who knows? I like that top one there. It's kind of cool. I'm not sure how I'm going to paint it yet. I'm not sure which coloration I'm going to do. I can see a nice bright band around the back. Um, see, like there are some there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm going to put a cannon in the front. I'm kind of vacillating. But anyway, to start out, you need yourself something like this. Some 3 views, and this is the Me-410, and it's got all those lines, and it's showing you where things are. And I'm not gonna probably put them all in because that would be crazy. But I'm gonna try to put enough in to make it interesting. And I'm gonna start with a pencil, some dividers, and this drawing. So here's after a while. Um, all those dark lines are engraved lines. That is just to me a tape because it turns out there's a flap that goes down the middle of the cell and there's some kind of round circle. So I'm going to try that, see how it looks. But you can see I've put these lines in. And you can see a place where I've made mistakes. Like there's somewhere I made a panel line and I messed up. And I had to resurface it a little bit. But these panel lines all over are, turns out the best way to do them is to just use, and that Mike has ended up using a mechanical pencil and push down hard enough. I even got rivets in there too. And those ones those on the elevator and rudder, the lines, I haven't put them in yet. Those are going to be little pieces of tape as well because that's fabric. So I'm going to put little like fabric tapes on there. But I'll show you on the nacelles how to do a rounded part. But all this is a lot of just carefully putting this pencil down on a straight edge. And again, you can see where I made mistakes and had to fix it. But you actually get embossed lines on here. And I think when you paint it, for one thing, they're going to be dark underneath the paint. So if you make the paint kind of translucent and build it up slowly, it should be a good idea. Now I used some of this stuff is like a, oh, it's self-adhesive and it's like a plastic tape that you'd use on label makers, like old-fashioned label makers. And you can roll that around a piece and it will stick and you can use that as your straight edge. I also tried, that worked a little, sometimes not. Sometimes I just used plain old Tamiya tape wrapped around and then use my line. That's why I'll show you how to do the nacelles probably in the next video because those are still need to be done and they're kind of hard to do. And I still got more panels to put on the top wing here. For example, there's a panel there. Here you can see these panels. And you can see there they are. There's that right edge there. And there's that panel line right there, which is this one. And I need one more panel line out yonder, right there. And that's where that one's going to go. And notice those are where there's ribs on the airplane. So that's what we're going to try to put in and show you how I did it. This is a super easy one, but it's easier to film. So this is exactly how I did all of these. I found out where it's going to go. I'm using a mechanical pencil with the lead out there. I mean, the lead, I'm using it just like it's a pencil. And some kind of straight edge. You can use a ruler. You can use whatever you have. You got to make sure things are perpendicular and parallel and all this. But you put this thing down as best you can. And there is a curve to the wing, so you got to be careful because you will slip, which I've done millions of times. That's where this self-adhesive tape might be a good idea, plastic tape. But you just put this down. Now I'm giving kind of medium pressure, and I make 3, 4 passes with this. And as I do it, I go a little stronger, a little harder. I'm pushing a little bit, but there's like I guess 4 passes on that. And when you pull this off and get rid of the extra little bit of graphite, you actually have an embossed line in there. And that's how I did all of those, and there's still some more to do. But that's it. It's as simple as that. I guess that's what I'm going to try to do for the rest of the model. Maybe there's a better way, but we'll see. So now another thing I'm trying, I'm just going to show you this. I don't know if it's going to work. See all those circular pieces? Those are fuel lines or fuel filler caps, I think, and various inspection panels and things. And I don't have a circular thing to, a pattern to roll the pencil around in. So I thought I would take some of the Tamiya tape. It's under my wrist. That's such great cinematography. I'm using a compass and I'm just cutting out a little circle. Problem is the compass, it's about as small as I can get it. And it's really not small enough. But my thought is, can I use these as these little covers? And they would give a little bit of differentiation on the surface. Whether it's accurate, I'm not sure. It's raised instead of recessed, but just something a little bit interesting. But that's what those are up on those nacelles. And then these are supposed to go in multiple places on this wing, and I'm trying to sort of figure out where they're supposed to go. And if this works, all you do is plop them down, and they tape down. And I'll probably hit them with a little primer or something later before I paint everything again. And they would just give you some kind of demarcation. Now the problem, again, like I said, is this a little large. But there's one that goes there. There's one there, a couple of there, one there. But I'm not sure if I'm going to keep these or not. I might decide to do something different. So here it is. The top is all done, and the fuselage is all done. All the extra panel lines have been put in. I put in stuff for the flap areas back there. Everything is done and embossed. So I gotta locate where the cannons go. I've got to do the nacelles. The nacelles haven't been touched yet. They're the last things to do because they're going to be kind of hard. And I'll show you an example how to do those in the next video because that is different. Most of this, the fuselage was rounded. I think you could muddle your way through. The other things the nacelles are going to be harder. But we're going to say this looks okay. And it's going to give a lot of interest. And if I treat it right when I'm painting with the airbrush, those panel lines, the color should show through a little bit. I'm just saying I got to do the nacelles. And the indentations might be there. We might be able to gussy those up too once we've painted it. But anyway, this has actually turned out really nice. There's my rescribed paper model.